Hello, my name is Eric Ortiz, and today I'll be talking about my informative speech and the effects of smoking. So, here we go. Don't make an ass out of yourself by smoking cigarettes or e-cigarettes because they aren't good for one's mental and physical health. Through this speech, I will inform you about the causes of smoking any kind of cigarettes. This subject really touches home to me because it is the ones near me that have been affected by smoking. Teenagers may have thought that e-cigarettes were cool and interesting, possibly even healthy at first, but they are not the healthier versions of cigarettes. To begin with, I'll be discussing how smoking can lead up to having cardiovascular disease. Thereafter, I'll be sharing the secondhand smoking effects. Lastly, I'll be talking about e-cigarettes leading up to more addiction. Let's start by talking about how smoking gives cardiovascular disease. E-cigarette users believe that it's the healthier version of inhaling than smoking cigars. Many users use it as an alternative way to smoke normal cigars, or it's a method of quitting. Unfortunately, these smokers are at risk of having cardiovascular disease. A research article named Awareness and Knowledge About Usage of E-cigarettes and Risk of Cardiovascular Disease Among Smokers states the following, and I quote, cardiovascular disease is the major cause of death among smokers, and it is responsible for as much as 30% of heart disease and its related deaths. As smokers consider safer and alternatives to help them quit smoking, they started using e-cigarettes because they lower the levels of harmful constituents. Nevertheless, this perception should be reconciled in light of the high sensitivity of the cardiovascular system and the relationship between tobacco and development of CVD. A solution to reduce CVD isn't to encourage users to stop smoking and aid them through treatment and guidance. Now that I have talked about cardiovascular disease, let's talk about secondhand smoking. There is also the fact that both vape pen and cigarettes harm people who aren't smoking it directly. The secondhand smoke of cigarettes is harmful to bystanders because the smoke carries chemicals and toxins. In e-cigarettes, they don't carry the same amount of deadly contamination, but it still has aerosol in the vape smoke. Secondhand smoke is very dangerous for others and can cause lung cancer. In this article, Secondhand Smoke Ignored Implications states, secondhand smoke causes lung cancer in adults who have never smoked. Non-smokers who are exposed to secondhand smoke at home or at work increase the risk of developing lung cancer by 20 to 30% chance. Secondhand smoke causes more than 7,300 lung cancer deaths among the US non-smokers each year. As with an active smoking, the longer the duration and the higher the level of exposure to secondhand smoke, the greater the risk of developing lung cancer. Imagine people walking in public areas and inhaling and smoking and having severe issues because of exposure, then being told by a physician that you might not live long enough because of it. The idea of this happening is very cruel and upsetting. Secondhand smoke can also affect not only adults but children, which can lead up to poor health as they grow up. Since children aren't fully grown yet, it could take a big toll on them. Although secondhand smoking is a big issue, let's discuss the other big issue, being addiction. Smoking is a habit for many people, and when e-cigarettes were introduced and announced as healthy, smokers would buy e-cigarettes and hope that it would help them quit. In a recent research article, using an e-cigarette is like eating tofu when you really want meat. They interviewed current smokers from ages 24 and up. From California, who switched to e-cigarettes and questioned how effective and efficient the vape pens were. The participants compared and contrasted the advantages and disadvantages of cigarettes and e-cigarettes. E-cigarettes were used when relaxed, and cigarettes were used for stress. The disadvantages e-cigarettes used for some is gateway to begin smoking cigarettes again, and some experience stigmatization for e-cigarette use. Convenience leads to increased nicotine exposure and addiction. Ability to use e-cigarettes anywhere results in constant vaping, and some keep multiple e-cigarette devices in case of device failure or loss. So they have a backup e-cigarette just in case their cigar runs out, or if their battery dies, they have a backup pen, and it's just not good. We have to find a way to not do that. Nicotine has become so addictive that the addicts have an extra cigarette or e-cigarette just in case one fails. When one of them doesn't work or provide the relief they are looking for, they return. They have a spare they have. Then smoking leads to very serious diseases like CBD. As e-cigarettes continue to be sold, teenagers continue to endorse these pens because they want to be cool, which is sad, because they are inhaling chemicals. It is very ironic. Instead of e-cigarettes helping addicts to quit, it is influencing them to keep them going and keep on using like double. If peers know addicts, anyone can try to save a life by encouraging them to quit. It is their best option, because inhaling anything can cause other than usual. A puff will not help. Not just smokers are vulnerable, but people who walk, live, shop, or in a car ride near them at risk when they're smoking near them. No one's safe, because when one inhales, everyone inhales. Everyone nearby inhales the same chemicals as an average smoker. About 7,300 people die of lung cancer through the secondhand smoke. Smokers should limit their areas and help save others by smoking nowhere near to no one. Save a life by sharing and influencing others. Thank you.